Hello, all my crafty people out there. It is time for our weekly project. My name is Stephanie, and if you haven't been here before, I upcycle clothing, generally items I find at my local thrift stores, and either make different clothing or accessories. And today is an accessory day that we're making out of a previous accessory. Anyway, stick with it. I got this. We have first up, these two beautiful ties. I love the pineapple, and I found a blue that coordinates with it very well. The ties are $1.99 at American Thrift down here, and I think they're 99 cents at Goodwill, but I don't always get lucky. I did this time. So this is our first set. And then our second set looks like this. Again, coordinating, a little bolder. I like the yellow and the blue together. They almost coordinate pattern-wise too, so I think these are also going to be a great option. We are going to be making two different types of belts. So if you would like to see how those come out, please watch, follow along, let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all at the table. Okay, everybody, the first belt that we're going to attempt, I think it should work out well, I hope, is something similar to, or something that might be called an obi belt. It's going to wrap around. Both of our belts are going to wrap around, but they're going to do it completely different. So we would take these two belts, and I'm just kind of sitting them on the grid to help us make sure they're nice and level. And I want to make sure, I think we need to do it more like this. I want to make sure that these points are on top of this one and this one falls underneath this tie. So I want them to be, you know, fairly even, and I want to make sure that the top is, so if I got the cross right there in the middle, I think that's about where we want to be. So like that, and then this part will wrap around you and tie in the front. Let me get some pins. I'm just going to kind of pin this, and the reason I'm pinning it is I want to put this on a base, a backing, like we have in the past for the pants. And what else have we done with ties that we had a backing? Well, the pillows, of course, were on a big piece of backed fabric. So I just wanted to kind of get a shape here. So that's stable. Now this is some leftover fabric from our cross-stitch tablecloth. It's excellent fabric. It doesn't seem to fray that bad. I mean, it does a little, but it takes a bit. And I think that I can maybe serge around the edges depending on what the shape is and keep it from fraying completely. So what we want to do is we're going to take our ties and we're going to turn off our VR time. Sorry, I need to remind myself to exercise. So we're going to put this down here. I'm not really worried about centering it, but I want to make sure that I've got enough fabric to cover the ends and, of course, this part. So I am just going to take a good old marker, and I'm going to mark around the edges like this. Don't worry about perfection here. We're just trying to get the shape. Because once we put it on the ties, the back of the ties, we can trim it up. Like that. Oops. Hopefully my marker doesn't give out. Guess I could go raid the kids. What is it? Washable ones? Let's see if that... I think I got it. It's light, but it's there. It's hard for you to see probably, but I've got it marked on there. It's real light. So I'm going to cut this out. And then after I cut it out, we will pin it to the back of the ties, and we'll go straight to the machine to start stitching down. So let me finish cutting this out, and I'll meet y'all at the machine. Okay, I went ahead and serged around the edges. It's not my perfect serge because it's got a lot of angles, but it's just backing. I just wanted to kind of prevent as much fraying and raveling as I could. So essentially we're going to put it on the back of the ties like this, and we're going to pin them down, and then we're going to sew from the front. So just kind of flip it over, realign it, make sure you don't have any edges showing, and then pin it down, and we will take it to the machine. And the plan is to not necessarily quilt it, but I guess it is kind of like quilting. We're going to sew around the edge, and then we're going to continue to sew until we meet ourselves in the middle to kind of give it that padded texture look. Because we left these ties whole. They've got their insides and everything. So we didn't lessen the bulk. So it's almost like they've got batting in them anyway. So we're just going to go and pin it down. And I'll meet y'all at the machine when we start sewing around the edges. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around the edge, almost following our backing, I guess you'd say. I might not go all the way to this edge, but yeah, I could try. I'm just got to make sure I know where it's at. But I'm going to go around all of the edge, and then I'm going to start going in one line at a time, incrementally going into the tie. And I'm going to probably space it using my foot, the same amount of space in between each one. So we'll see how that goes, but let me get the outline done first. And I'm going to start on one of the ends down here where I can see my my backing, I guess it could say. And I'm using some embroidery thread. We're going to go for, fancy. Okay, I've gone all the way around the tie to secure it in place. Now, I am going to use my presser foot, and I'm going to run the side of my presser foot along the last stitch, and I'm just going to start going all the way around again and just continue until I get to the center, essentially, with these lines. I guess it's a way of quilting it. But anyway, that's what I'm doing to give it the texture I want. So, again, just the foot is what I'm using to gauge. You could do anything. There are tools that you can add to your machine that give you width from each other. There's all kinds of things. I'm just making it easy. I'll keep going. Okay guys, I needed to show you how I was going to take the measurement for the second belt. These are the 2 ties that we're going to use for the second belt. And I want them to meet in the middle, barely overlapping like this. Now they can overlap a little more, a little less. And I want to wear my belt up high at my natural, a little above my natural waist, as opposed to down low. But you could size it to wherever you want to wear it. Okay, so I've pinned this. I just put a sewing pin, a straight pin in there, and I'm going to put it where I want it to go. And then I'm going to wrap it around the back, and I'm going to pull it forward. And this will tell me how big I need the tie to be and how long I need each side to be. So I'm going to take some binder clips, not binder clips, I call these binder clips every time, quilt clips, and I'm going to mark, sorry the air conditioner just came on, we can't live without that down here, and I'm going to mark how long I need these to be in order for them to meet comfortably in the front. Okay, now I can sit down and everything. You want to check your measurements. Wherever you put your belt, you want to make sure it's comfortable. But this is how long I will need the sides to be. So now I'm going to take it to the table and I'm going to show you how we're going to put it together to make it look that way. Okay, here's our 2 ties, and I still have them pinned together, and I just put them together to make sure that these were the same length. Just measure it up, just checking. And they are. My clips come to the same spot, so that's good. Now, how much overlap have we got here? Maybe, where's the tip of it? About 1.25 inches. So I'm overlapping by about 1.25 inches. And I'm taking that measurement so I can take this pin out, because we're going to have to lay these a certain way to get this to work. So this is the one I really want highlighted, and it's also the one that I want to have on the outside of the blue. So that means I'm going to lay this down right here where this clip is at the tip of the tie. Okay. And I'm going to double it over like this. I know this looks weird, but essentially what you've done is we're going to put this part of this tie on the bottom of the tie we want to be dominant. Okay. And no, they're not the same size, but that's okay. That's not a problem. So we pulled that to that tip, make sure that our tips pretty much meet, which is good. And then we're going to take the back end of this tie, and remember, we just want to keep that right side showing, and we're going to pin it this way. So when you put it on, this part will be on top of the blue, and this part will be under the dominant tie, but they'll meet in the middle. Trust me. Just trust me on this. Thought about this for a bit. So I'm going to pin this real quick. I'm going to take my clip off, because I want this to be right here in the center of this blue tie. And I'm just going to pin it down real quick. I'm not doing a super fancy pin because it's going to kind of determine just pretty much where I want it, not necessarily a straight pin it's for sewing. Okay. And then we want to make sure that this end meets this end. It's going to be a little backwards the way we're going to sew it. But remember the belt that we did for my granddaughter, the purple belt for Mardi Gras out of a purple tie? The backside was showing. This way, the backside will never show on our process. So now, this is what it looks like. I've got it pinned down like this. And I've got it pinned from this side as well. Sorry, gotta turn my chicken alarm off. My girls wouldn't come out today. There was a snake in their coop and they were a little too upset. It was just a corn snake. All good. Just a couple of eggs lost. So, now, here, there we go. Now you can see it's centered. Now I'm going to go down one side. I'm going to go all the way and sew this middle part essentially. And I might have to sew it from either side. In other words, sew this down to here and then flip it over and sew this down to here. Just because it will be kind of awkward to sew it all in one stitch, in one line. So let's go to the machine, see if we can stitch this down and try on our belts. Okay, everybody, I got the belts done, both of them, and I love both the belts. I've been struggling on how to style it because I don't wear belts, not unless I just hold my jeans up. So this is something new to me. Now I have on this white sleeveless kind of tunic blouse. It could be a dress if it was just a little longer. I think it would work either way. But I like this one on it. I'm just not sure how to wear these. So by all means, comment. Let me know what you think. But this one turned out great as far as it's precisely where I wanted it, as far as the way the ties meet. And I think it looks cute. But the problem is, I don't know if it works. I don't know if I need to, I don't know what to do with it. I really like it. And I think the only thing I would change about it is maybe putting a backing fabric, like a stiffer backer fabric under it to give it more stability. But I do like the way it looks. I'm not used to wearing a belt like this. So let me know what you think. And don't be cruel now. And then I have this one. Now, this one I really like because it is stable and stiff. And it reminds me of something almost like a kimono kind of. Well, it is kind of like an obi. Now, this one, I don't know. I like the way it came out. And you could wear it tied to the front or the back. But and I don't want a bow with this one. I just want it to be like a knot, like I think it's supposed to be. And I think it looks good, but I don't know what to wear it with. I mean, maybe if I had a long dress, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to show y'all these options. And of course you could do a million different things with a tie for a belt. But This was real fun to make, and you could get crazy with the ties. So if you like this, or you had an idea that you wanted to share with me nicely, then by all means comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side of our next project.